Okay, so I titled this video "The Moment I Became Red Pill," and I think I went to a video the moment I became MGTOW. So this a lot of things may be like kind of going over each other, but I kind of wanted to go a little more in depth on this time, this time period. Now, like most guys, I think, and most guys, I was a complete beta until it started hitting me to become MGTOW slash red pill, whatever you want to call me. I don't know. All I know is I have my own philosophy, and a lot of my thoughts go along with the MGTOW and red pill situations. Probably more, I would say, probably more red pill than MGTOW, but nonetheless, it's just my own philosophy. And people just kind of tell me like, "Oh yeah, you must be red pill or MGTOW." I say, "Okay, sure, whatever. This is just what I think." But anyways, the moment okay, what I'll say is this: the moment when I like genuinely grew, okay, mentally, and especially dealing with women, maybe not so much the world yet, but at least with women. I was married at the time. I was with, like I said, the story is kind of going to go into the MGTOW video, but I was with my wife, my wife at the time. She was Czech, and she was 2 years older than I was. I was 30, and she was 32, and she had wanted me to do something that there was just no real reason or validation for doing it. And honestly, I can't remember what it was. It was like she had asked me to either do something, or she wondered why I didn't buy something, or it was something just really weak. It was something that was just completely no reason to do this type of thing, other than just to stroke her ego, pretty much. And I pretty much broke down to her like look, nothing nothing about this situation is worth what you're asking of me. And just to go back on a kind of a side topic, which I had this side topic happen like where I'm living in Czech Republic now. I'm living in Prague now, and I had this situation happen to me actually this past week. How okay now I don't know. I think it's just like a natural male thing. Whereas let's say like with women who are like under 25, these women naturally have like something about them that makes men more compelled to just naturally want to provide for them. You see, like they like they're not beaten up in life yet. They're not jaded in life yet. They're still holding on to some of their like natural feminine qualities still. They're more, moldable and adjustable. Like when they're like 18 and 25, they're you naturally like there's a part within me when I deal with a woman who's in these age brackets, I naturally want to provide for her. You see, like I naturally do. Now, on the flip side, there was a girl. Okay, the one girl, I think she's like 19. The one girl I'm talking about, and she doesn't even look amazing. She's not a great looking girl, but it's just what she is. It's like a biological thing that makes me it's compelled to want to provide for this girl. So I have to fight it. But I just want to give her the world. And then there's this 2 days earlier, there was this 30-year-old woman who's walking. I bumped into her getting off the train, and she recognized me because I'm the only black guy and probably in Prague that's going to dress halfway decent and blah blah and speaks this type of English. And so she recognized me and started talking to me. I mean, and she was drop dead gorgeous, but she was 30. And when you like from far away, she looked like just the most perfect woman you can probably ever imagine. But when you got up close to her, you can start seeing like the aging, like the skin starting to sag, but it's just kind of being held up by makeup and concealer and all that bullshit. But I mean, she wasn't a horrible person to talk to, but like when they get hit too far over 25, you just as a man, like I just naturally don't want to provide for her. I'll have sex with her and then literally leave 2 seconds later, but I don't want to, I don't have that initial feeling of wanting to provide for these women, you see? And I think it's just a natural thing. Like once they get older and they're walking around like this, they're walking around, like there's a reason why they're walking around like this and welcoming men. You see, once they get over 25 and they're still walking around welcoming men, Matter of fact, I ran to an American girl in the city center, and I think she's like 27, 28. Like they're just like you can sense it in them. Like you don't want to really provide. You don't want to provide anything for them. Like it would turn me off to pay for her beer type of thing. Like there's just it's a natural biological like function in men to, I think, to just do this naturally, especially if the man is like fully thinking on his own without worrying about judgment from other people, and he's just, fully in his own, in his own comfort zones. No fully sane man would want to provide for an older woman because they're just, because you're a grown woman. It's okay. In my perspective, it's like this. Once you're over 25, you are officially a grown woman. So be a grown woman. It's not my job to provide for you. It's not my place to provide for you. It's not my place to break my back to make you happy. It's not, it's no long. I mean, it's not my place to break my back to make, anyone, but especially an older woman. Like they are fully grown. You see what I'm saying? Like it's not cute to be a dainty, cute girl at 30. You're a grown woman. You should act like a grown woman. Sneeze. So with my ex-wife, go back to the ex-wife. Like I said, I pretty much, and I was becoming red pill, like in front of her face. I'm telling her these things, like, and I didn't even realize how hurtful it may have sounded or anything. I just told her, like, look, guys would have done, I can't remember what it was she asked me to do, but I sort of like guys would have done X for you 10 years ago. They would have flown you around and bought you all the clothes you wanted and gave you all the food you wanted 10 years ago. You 32 now. Like you are a grown woman. I still have a lot of love for you, but you're grown. You have to start acting like you're grown. You see, and I was just like rattling off like the realities of it. And I'm sure it hurt her feelings because I mean, it hurts. It hurts. Every woman's going to have their feelings hurt when you start telling them that they are now officially the older woman that they used to point and laugh at 10 years ago. They have now made it to become this older woman. Like they hate it. They hate it. And usually the ones who suffer the most are the women who like really laughed at older women or laughed at women who weren't pretty and all this stuff. And now they become these women at 30 and 35. Well, my ex-wife, okay, and I'm also speaking from European standards, European women's standards. So these European women are on a higher level than American women. So like in Europe, me being in Europe, what I would call like an 8 in Europe, an 8 out of 10 in Europe would be easily a 10 in America. Easily. She'll be a porn star 10 in America. So I would say like a 6 or a 7 here would be a solid 8 or 9 in America. I say there's about a 3-point buffer. At least just physically speaking. But yeah, that was the moment I became red pill because I like all the logic was starting to slowly fit. Because at this time I had moved to Czech Republic. I didn't know the language at all. I couldn't drive a manual transmission. I didn't know where anything was. I didn't know the culture for like months. So like by the time we got into this confrontation, everything slowly started to like come back together again. And I started to see the logic. And then I started to pay attention to like, all her past relationships that she told me about. Okay. And when women tell you stuff, they're either going to tell you stuff that's going to make them look really good. That's usually just going to make them look good in the end. And even with that buffer of a woman telling you these things, I had pretty much deduced her whole life story. My ex-wife, I had deduced her entire life path. Her entire life path was the general gold-digging woman's path. Be extremely loyal to a man initially, give him what he wants until he starts giving you access to better resources, dig your claws into said resources, and then make the man want to just run away and keep all the resources. That's it. And I really started paying attention to all her exes and what happened and how for the one who was actually contacting her at the moment, he was contacting her because she pretty much stole his house from him and had to call the police on her at her job to have some type, legal record to show that he's, initiating trying to get his house back, and she's just not giving it back to him or selling the house because he had pretty much co-signed. He had co-signed for the house, and she was supposed to take the house out of his name. Long story short, she ended up stealing it pretty much and not doing anything with it and just living in it. See, this is what these types of when they hit 30, man, they're messed up. And I was going to make another video about this, but we can like hit a side note, man. Like, okay, see, these women who are like crazy and messed up at 30, see, they were always like this. You see, they were always, so like when you grow to like 30, 35, 40, and you're seeing these women be like this now at 30 and 35 and 40, usually gain a lot of weight, or they're just mentally ridiculous, or they can't keep a man, or they're just horrible with money. They were always like this in most cases, okay? Most cases, they were always like this. The only reason you didn't see it as a guy is because when we were younger, all we cared about was, is she pretty and is she nice to me so I could possibly have sex with her? That's all we were looking at. We didn't look at, a lot of us, we didn't look at the actual logic, like, oh, she's going out to parties every weekend, and she's always getting drunk and having these crazy stories. Like back then, it's cute to hear this, but like at 30, that's like okay. At 30 and up, that's the biggest red flag. Okay, to keep her into just like one night stand territory. If she's going out to partying, or she's constantly doing things for men's attention, like that's the first way to fall in a one night stand hooker area. Okay, because the boring ones, what you want is a boring one who looks good, and it's not too prudish for sex, if that's the right word to use. Because see, like for me, man, like I hate women who can't talk about anything. Like the prudish women, they can't at least entertain other people's mentalities. These are the women like I genuinely despise. Like I don't want anything to do. I don't care how good they look. I don't want anything to do with them. But yeah, I think everybody's moment of truly becoming red pill and MGTOW, it comes at different times for different reasons. I think there's a lot of younger guys out there trying to study it, and I think that it's good that they can become aware, but also I'm afraid for the younger groups of guys who's studying it, let's say like 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, because see, okay, this is just my own ignorant assumption, which it is an ignorant assumption because I don't know you if you're a younger guy watching this, but I don't want you to immediately build up hatred for the world. Because let's just face it, women's true nature is a disgusting nature at the core. Woman's true nature is a gold digging nature. They'll dress it up in different ways. Some will be nicer, some will be intelligent, but the core end goal of what they want, it's a gold digging nature. It just is what it is. And a man's nature is to multiply, is to impregnate better quality, good quality women in relation to himself. It's just the core nature. But what I'm afraid of for younger guys is when you don't have the proper experience and you're just studying red pill and MGTOW, it's easy to fall into circles with just pure bitter men. Bitter. Okay, you see, when I became red pill, I wasn't bitter. I was married. I wasn't bitter. I didn't become MGTOW or red pill, whatever you want to say I am. I didn't become me at this moment in time because I was sitting alone, single, and mad because I couldn't get a match on Tinder or Bumble or whatever. So now I'm going to be, no, I was like successful in getting women and became red pill along the path of being, successful. So, I mean, my thoughts on that is like, I kind of hit it at a more healthy part of life. I wasn't divorced and lost the kids and now I'm red pill, blah, blah, blah. Which I'm not saying this is a bad way to come across it, but what I'm trying to say is I think some people that can go horrifically wrong to become red pill or MGTOW because something went wrong in their life. Like I said, I think I hit this when things were going I hit this when I was, still in some form of success with a woman. You see, that's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, so I'll make another video about that girl who pretty much when they hit over 30, they're fucked up. I'll start making another video about that next.